Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bell to Bell pre-show for the WWE Great American Bash 2025. Your host today, DJ Mainstream, the voice of the voiceless, and I'm starting to get used to doing these post-shows and pre-shows. I told Blackout, the Rebel, King Leak, and also Yano, let's get this content out there. And when this big weekend happening, no time is like the present. So as you can see, have the little setup going, trying to do a little something to add to the aesthetic here. Brought little mini Mystico with me as well, as we're going to discuss WWE Great American Bash 2025 happening shortly. I'm currently recording this an hour away from Great American Bash, so I'm literally just to let you guys know how I'm going to have this set up. Have all-ins on my TV screen, and I have Great American Bash playing on the computer. It's going to be madness for the weekend. I pray for my sleep. I pray for my patience. I pray for my voice, because I have to do this again for the post show. But let's get into what we're here. First and foremost, let's go through the matches. Javon Evans and Jasper Troy is going to have a singles match. Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks for the NXT North American Championship. That is a false count anywhere. So Ruca with Zaria versus Izzi Dane with Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's North American Championship, which I think is going to be a show stealer. Izzi Dane has been doing really great. Then the two, I guess you could say, co-main events, Oba Femi and Yoshiki Inamura for the NXT Championship, and the big tag team match between Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence, Jacy, Jayne, and Fallon Henley. I do think this Great American Bash was slotted weird, it being like right before Evolution while also going on All In. I'm not going to get into the whole aesthetics of the whole ordeal. I'm just here to run through the matches. But I do have my personal feelings towards it. I think on the next podcast I record with the crew, we're going to discuss it. Because this is a little insane as a wrestling fan. It's like, not everybody has the option to choose between both. And I really think that it becomes a very, I don't know, it's a tribalistic cat and mouse thing. But listen, I'm not here for that right now for the pre-show. I'm here to discuss the matches. Off jump, Jasper Troy and Javon Evans, the way it came along, I like it. I had said even in I like it. I said it to Blackout the Rebel that Javon Evans needs a big win. And granted, yes, he's had big wins in his past, but I feel like beating Jasper Troy here, even though you're kind of hurting Jasper Troy's image since winning LFG, I feel like he'll bounce back fine. I think he'll be okay. Honestly, after my prediction is him losing, Javon Evans winning. You then shift Jasper Troy over to the North American Championship division. I don't know what happens after the Ethan Page Ricky Saints match, but I do think there's there's a move here to move Javon Evans higher up to face Oba Femi eventually for the men's NXT Championship. I feel like this was a straight 1-2-3 between myself, Blackout, and Leak. They both also said the same thing as they put it in the predictions of our group chat. That it's going to be booked a strong show. It's going to be great wrestling. Off of rip, we all said the same thing. Young OG, he's too over to get squashed against 1-on-1 against Jasper. That's what Blackout said. But it's interesting. All three of us came with an up and down type of thing towards the next match where I would just discuss it, Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints. I feel like Ricky Saints get the win here. I don't know. It's tough to call because I love Ethan Page. There's a level of, I don't know, there's a level of feeling that the way Ethan Page carries the title, he carries it as a world championship, even though it's the North American Championship. I wouldn't mind him winning here, but I also feel like Ricky should win it. Blackout, he says it's too early for him to lose the belt, especially to Ricky. If they're going to push him, I think he shouldn't win the belt back so he can be free to be called up. In that sense, yeah, I can see what Blackout's saying with it. I really feel like if we're going to go with this whole ordeal of building something between Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, regardless of the AEW connection, I don't know. I feel like Ricky Saints wins here. Ethan loses, gets called up, maybe crashes out on the next NXT episode. But Ethan Page, honestly, both of them. There's one or both needs to be called up already. They need to not longer be in NXT. But that's a conversation for another time. The next match after that on the roster here, Izzi Dane versus Sol Ruca for the Women's North American Championship. I have Sol winning. I kind of like the idea of possibly breaking up Zaruka. I know the internet's going to hate me for that. I need to see Zaria win the title now, man. I'm ready for. Did I say Sol Ruca gets called up? No, Sol Ruca versus Zaria has a very interesting that friend dynamic that NXT loves to go to, and its go-to of storylines between the men and the women's side. So there's up and down you can say about that turning into something like somehow Zaria and Sol go all the way to Stand and Deliver of next year. Maybe I'm big dreaming here, but in the chat, Blackout says Izzi Dame Sol needs to lose the belt so she's eligible for the draft. With what they're doing with the culling, they need both Tatum and Izzi there a while longer. I like that. I do like that. Yeah, I like that. Nope, I see nothing wrong with that. But Leak says he sees Sol's winning because he see only losing because they booked her so strong on the Go Home show. That's tough. That's tough. Damn, they make good points. When a person stands tall at the end of the Go Home show, it's not too sure if they're gonna win. That's tough. I don't know. I see. I don't know. Maybe Sol winning, but we got to build towards breaking up Zaruka. Sol and Zaria needs to. We got to offset that. There's time because the way a balance of power in NXT is going, especially with the tag team match we're going to discuss next as the top tier of the women of the division in NXT. There's a thought process here where we got to strengthen the division, not have so many tag teams. Let the girls from NXT, the lower card of NXT, even some of the LFG ladies, maybe some of the Evolve ladies come up, make the new tag teams. Don't use some of the current ladies who are there in these like friendship tag teams that obviously going to lead to a storyline. When I was actually getting to the tag team match, Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe versus Jacy, Jayne, and Fallon Henley, the tag team match that they're going to have. Everybody in the chat basically said the same thing, that there's going to be a lot of cat and mouse of who's going to turn. Is there going to be a dissension? There's been dissension building a Fatal Influence a while. For me, Fallon Henley's character is too big to be standing next to Jacy Jayne any longer. I'm sorry. She's another one that should have been in that realm of being in the women's championship like division. I don't see it. I don't see where Fatal Influence needs to win here. Leak says he sees them getting the win. Again, I can see it. They don't need it, but I see it. Blackout says Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe. He says it reluctantly, but that's for his personal choice and feelings towards Jordynne Grace. I don't know. That's a tough one. I feel like Fatal Influence does get the win here. Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace are just kind of, again, convoluted tag team thrown together. It also will go into my prediction for Evolution, but we'll talk about that when I drop the video tomorrow. And then finally, we all have agreed Oba Femi's winning here against Inamura. We got to start shifting to Oba Femi getting called up soon. I think the next big story, and I know Blackout agree with me. I don't know if Leak will agree with me, but listen, the big money match for me is Javon Evans versus Oba Femi. Give me what I want. That's the only thing that makes sense here. But yeah, I'll be back for the post show after the event is over. It's going to be live on Peacock at 3 p.m. So this video should be dropping shortly as I'm recording this at 1:56. Crap, I got to do the AEW All-In pre-show. But Yeah, we're locked in. It's gonna be a busy day. Hope Mini Mystical's up to it, because I am. Keep it locked here. Brother Bell Podcast. Peace.